What's up guys, welcome back to Morimoto Lighting. I'm Bear Dellinger and today we're going to be doing some headlight installs for a 2015 to 2020 Chevrolet Tahoe. But before we get into the install, let's tell you what these headlights are all about and why they're some of the best headlights for this year, make and model. So a unique feature about these headlights is that Morimoto startup sequence. As you see, when you turn it on, it has that nice animation. It also has that nice sequential amber turn signal. When doing the install, you can either keep it standard or sequential. With these headlights, it features 3 LED projectors, 3 for low beam and 2 on high beam. These also feature a fully functional daytime running light, and they also dim down once you turn your headlights on. These headlights are a full plug-and-play system, making install a breeze. They also come equipped with LED side markers, making the housing a full LED system. And last but not least, it has that nice black piano finish, giving your headlights that nice, clean, modern look, and giving your Tahoe a nice modern upgrade. The way we do our testing to find out how bright or how dim a headlight is by using a digital lux meter. This measures actual usable brightness at a certain point. This is way better than measuring lumens when comparing headlights. At 25 feet from the wall, we have measured the stock halogen lights. Use this number as the benchmark to compare the XB headlights to your halogen headlights. The OEM halogen low beam for your Tahoe only comes in at 250 maximum lux. Now the XB low beams come in at 2040 maximum lux, which makes the XB low beam 716% brighter than your OEM low beams. Now the OEM high beams come in only at 930 maximum lux, a tad bit better but nowhere close to our XBs. With the XB high beams, they come in at 2170 maximum lux, which is 133% brighter than your stock halogen high beams. And as you see with our XB headlights, they have a cleaner cutoff, a wider beam pattern, and a nice white modern look as well. So now that you know all about the features of the XB headlights, let's get straight into the install. So these will be the tools that you'll be using for the install. A pry tool of your choice, a T20 Torx bit, a 10mm socket, 7mm socket, and a ratchet of your choice. First things first, you're gonna go ahead and pop the hood. Next up, remove these 12 plastic push clips on top of your grill cover. And for this, you'll be using a pry tool. You could either use a flathead or an actual wedge tool. With all those push tabs out, you can go ahead and lift up on your grill cover and then just set it aside. Next up, you're going to be removing the 6mm bolts on top of your grill. You'll be using a 10mm socket and also a ratchet. Now with all those screws out, we're gonna go ahead and move to the harness. If you have parking sensors or fog lights on your Tahoe, you will have this option. If not, then you won't have to disconnect this. All right, so now that we're down here by the fender, make sure to go ahead and turn your front wheel forward so that you have a little bit more clearance on your inner fender. So there'll be 6 7mm bolts that you'll be removing right here. And for this last one, it'll be straight up. It's a little bit hard to see, but I promise you it's there. All right, with those out, you'll do the exact same thing on the passenger side. And once you're completed with that, we're gonna head underneath the vehicle. All right, now that we're underneath the vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and remove these 2 10mm screws and this 1 plastic push tab. Next, you're gonna be removing this other 10mm screw right here. All right, and there are 2 on the center, 1 here and 1 here. As you see, we're just working our way from the left to right. On the passenger side, you'll be removing those two 10mm screws, that one plastic push tab, and then that one on the very corner. So next up, what we're going to do is go ahead and remove the bumper and the grille. First steps, all you have to do is pry on the very side of your bumper. Now go ahead and move your way on top of the grille. We'll be using a wedge tool to go ahead and wedge up these three areas on top of the grille. Okay, with those released, now there's going to be two clips on the very bottom of your grille. You can use the wedge tool or just a flathead. It is a little reach down there, but I promise you can find it. Just use your wedge tool and pull up on that plastic piece and I'll release it. All right, with everything out, you can go ahead and uninstall your bumper and grille. You may need a friend for this, so go ahead and grab him and we'll go ahead and get this up and out of the way. All right, now with the grille and bumper out, what we're going to do is go ahead and uninstall your OEM headlights. There's going to be four 10mm screws that you'll have to remove, two on top and then two on bottom. Now to fully release your headlight, all you have to do is use a pry tool and pry up on this area of the headlight and then also pull back on this little metal bracket to release it. Now with the headlight out, all you have to do is disconnect the harness on the very back of your headlight. Just set that one aside and do the exact same thing on the driver's side. All right, now with the headlights out, we're gonna go ahead and install your DRL harness. First things first, you just gotta remove your fuse lid on your fuse box. Now go ahead and locate slot 75 in your fuse panel. You'll be using the fuse tap and just insert it into that slot. Now with that in place, go ahead and put the fuse box lid back on and go ahead and route the shorter lead to the driver's side and the longer lead over to the passenger headlight. Now before we install the Morimoto XB headlights, we need to go ahead and transfer your OEM brackets off of your OEM headlights onto ours. What you'll be using is a T20 and you'll be removing the three screws on the very bottom of your OEM headlight. With that bracket removed, all you have to do is flip the headlight around and we'll be removing this chrome piece too on the very top of it. You'll be removing these 5 T20 screws. All right, with those brackets removed, you can just go ahead and set this aside. Now just take that black bracket piece that came from your OEM headlight and just line it up with your Morimoto headlight. And then take the T20 and just screw those back into place. Also keep in mind when tightening these down, do not tighten them too tight because you are working with plastic. Now just flip the headlight around and we're just going to be installing that chrome piece as well. So you just lay this on the very base of your headlight and just line it up with those 3 holes where you took those T20s out. that installed, go ahead and take the rubber trim piece that comes in with your XB headlights and use those remaining T20 screws to bolt those down. Now with that bracket installed and also that rubber trim piece, you'll be doing the exact same thing onto your passenger headlight. All right, now with those brackets installed, you can go ahead and start installing your headlight. So the two connectors you'll be connecting are your DRL and then your main harness. Now with everything connected, you can go ahead and sled your headlight in. Now what I like to do is go ahead and take one of those bolts and just screw it on the very top of your headlight to make sure that it does not fall out. And do that exact same thing over on the driver's side. And then run through all of the headlight functions to make sure everything's working properly, and then just button everything back up, and your Morimoto XB headlights are ready to go. All right, now with the headlights installed, make sure to keep in mind with that DRL harness that it is not intrusive with any moving parts. That way it does not get caught. Also, finally, and last but not least, make sure that you adjust your headlights so you're not blinding any oncoming traffic, and then that way it's still safe when you're on the road. And if you want to find out what other parts that we have in stock for your Tahoe, make sure to put in your year, make, and model on our website, and we'll catch you guys over there.